Oh, conta. Let's talk about some nerdy shit. Yeah, today we're talking about insulation. So, insulation. Not the most exciting thing in the world, but if you don't want to live in a house that leaks heat like a broken thermos, you kind of need it. There are a bunch of different insulation materials out there. Mineral wool, foam boards, even recycled paper flakes, because why not? But what's actually out there? What's the difference between them? And of course, how much is this stuff going to cost you? Let's take a look. Alright, so insulation comes in a few different flavors. And depending on what you're doing, walls, floors, or roofs, some work better than others. Here's a quick rundown. Mineral wool. This includes fiberglass and rock wool. It's common, easy to find, and decent at soundproofing. But working with it, yeah, enjoy the itchiness. Then you have foam insulation. Basically, plastic foam, super efficient, great for small spaces, but can get pricey. Also, if you've ever seen it sprayed onto a wall, it looks like something out of a sci-fi horror movie. Cellular glass. It's tough, it's fireproof, and it's basically glass bubbles glued together. Not the cheapest, but it lasts forever. Natural insulation, think sheep's wool, cork, hemp, weed, or even old newspapers shredded into insulation. Reflective insulation works by bouncing heat back, kind of like those emergency foil blankets. Pretty cool, but also really useful in certain situations. So that's the lineup. Each one has pros and cons, but at the end of the day, they all do the same thing. Keep your house from turning into a freezer in the winter and an oven in the summer. Mineral wool. This stuff comes in two flavors, rock wool and glass wool. Rock wool is made from volcanic rock, which sounds way cooler than it probably is. Glass wool is, well, made from glass, which means your insulation is basically tiny, fluffy, recycled bottles. They're pretty similar in terms of insulation value and price, but rock wool is usually a bit more expensive. Guess molten lava comes with a premium. Now, depending on what you're insulating, mineral wool comes in different forms. Soft blankets, great for sloped roofs, and you can DIY it. Just maybe wear gloves unless you enjoy itchy hands. Semi-rigid boards used for cavity walls, aka that gap between the inner and outer walls of your house. Spouwmuren voor de Nederlanders. Hard wool panels. These are the tough guys, perfect for insulating floating floors and other load-bearing surfaces. So yeah, mineral wool, affordable, effective, and versatile. Just don't breathe it in unless you want your lungs to feel like a cactus. Plastic insulation. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, great, more plastic in the world, hear me out. This stuff actually insulates better than mineral wool for the same thickness. The downside, it's less flexible and more expensive. So if your walls are a bit wonky, plastic insulation might not be your best friend. There are a few different types, and yes, they all have ridiculously technical names. EPS, this name, aka styrofoam, it's cheap but not the best at keeping heat in, so you'll need thicker boards to get the same insulation value. XPS, I'm not saying this name, just read it. A fancier version of EPS, costs more but insulates better. PUR, the name, even better insulation but also more expensive. PUR, these names, boy, these names, even more insulation than PUR, plus it's more fire resistant and stronger under pressure. And PF, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this name. The ultimate winner in insulation value, but also the priciest option. So yeah, plastic insulation. Better insulation, higher price tag, and a bit less forgiving when it comes to bumpy surfaces. If you're going for the best performance, PUR or PF or your go-to, but if you're on a budget, EPS might be the move. Alright, let's talk about cellular glass, aka the tank of insulation materials. This stuff is rock solid, made from quartz, sand, and about 70% recycled glass, so it's got that eco-friendly badge of honor. So, what's the biggest flex of cellular glass? Extreme pressure resistance. It's got that dog in it. This means it's perfect for placing under brickwork to prevent cold bridges, basically those sneaky spots where heat escapes your home. It also works great for flat and sloped roofs. Downsides? Well, it's expensive because it's got that dog in it, but if you need something that can handle serious weight and won't budge, cellular glass is built different. Let's get a little eco-friendly. Natural insulation materials are on the rise, and more people are choosing healthier, sustainable options. These materials are made from 100% natural sources like wood fibers, cork, hemp, weed, sheep's wool, and more. No weird chemicals, no harmful side effects, and minimal environmental impact. Most of these materials are locally sourced and sold by specialized dealers. Sounds great, right? Well, there's a catch. The price tag is usually higher. Plus, just because something is labeled eco-friendly doesn't automatically mean it's the best insulator. Performance matters also. So if you want to keep things green and don't mind spending a little extra, natural insulation might just be the way to go. And finally, we have reflective insulation, aka the shiny stuff. These materials are basically thin layers of aluminum foil or metallized film with foam, fire-resistant polyethylene or fiber materials sandwiched in between. Now, unlike traditional insulations, these don't just trap heat, they reflect it. That means they create an almost impenetrable barrier against infrared radiation. Also, they're super thin. We're talking about 0.5 to 3 centimeters max. If you don't have much space but still want solid insulation, this might be a good option. But keep in mind, reflective insulations work better in combination with other materials. It's not really a standalone solution. Alright, so you've got your materials down, but now, you're probably wondering, where do I actually use all this stuff? This one's pretty versatile, so you can use it in all kinds of spaces around your house. So where to use this? Well, perfect for cavity walls, aka spalmuren for the Dutch people. Roofs, great for sloped roofs, like between the rafters. Floors, use it between your floor joists for extra warmth. Ceilings, you can also stake it on your ceilings to keep heat from escaping. It's especially useful if you've got a wood or steel frame, thanks to how easily it fits between the beams. So basically, wood frame walls or metal stud walls, you can just stick it in, pause, and also you can just stick it in between the rafters or beams of your floor, pause. These are great for pretty much all the building parts in your house. So basically, if you got any roof, walls, or floor insulation needs, these will work for most part of the house. This one's a little more specialized. Where can you use it? Basements, excellent for wet areas like cellars. Flat roofs, you can use it to insulate flat roofs and walls. These work wonders for sustainable buildings. Where to use them? All around the house, really. Where to use it? Roofs. Usually used for roof insulation, it's great for acting as a waterproof barrier and keeping the heat inside by reflecting infrared rays. So yeah, insulation. Not the fanciest topic, but definitely important if you don't want to spend your life paying insane electricity bills. And also because freezing in the winter sucks. Anyway, I hope I gave you guys an appreciation for insulation, and that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you for watching, if you made it this far. Until next time.